Lee Kekwang is here for a 3-day visit expected to see the signing of at least 17 business deals.
Our talks on the agreements we reached this morning covered a variety of matters, including
South Sudan's President Salva Kiir and rebel leader Riek Machar have signed a peace deal after a 5-month conflict. The deal calls for an immediate truce and the formation of a transitional government ahead of the drafting of a new constitution and fresh elections.
The leaders.
The rivals, President Salva Kiir and former Vice President Riek Machar, signed the deal in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa late yesterday after their first face-to-face meeting since the hostilities began. Kiir and Machar are expected to issue immediate orders for troops to end combat and to allow in humanitarian aid.
By me signing today this agreement, I am sending the signal that this conflict must be ended peacefully. I hope the other side will also be serious on this matter.
I want to assure you that I and my party, the party I'm leading, and the army that I'm leading, will implement this agreement without any fail.
The signing comes barely a week after U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry met with President Salva Kiir.
Good morning.
During the meeting, he pushed for Kiir to hold face-to-face talks with the rebel leader Riek Machar.
This meeting of Riek Machar and President Kiir is critical to the ability to be able to really engage in a serious way as to how the cessation of hostilities agreement will now once and for all really be implemented.
Humanitarian organizations say thousands of people have been killed and more than 1.2 million displaced since the clashes erupted in December between forces loyal to the two rivals. The parties signed an initial peace deal in January, but it fell apart days later. Kerry has welcomed the new peace agreement, saying it could mark a breakthrough for the future of the world's youngest nation. The violence started late last year after Kiir accused Machar of trying to oust him through a coup, a charge he denied. Since the alleged attempted coup, violence spread rapidly, with reports of their forces conducting mass killings nationwide. The violence ran down ethnic lines, with the Nuer tribe backing the rebel leader, while the president hails from the Dinka tribe. In April, militia seized the strategic oil town of Bentiu, separated terrified residents by ethnicity, and slaughtered at least 400. This is what the United Nations said. South Sudan celebrated its independence from Sudan 3 years ago after an internationally brokered referendum. Now, Tino KTN, Weekend at 1.
Moving away from South Sudan, revelers in Kisumu had a rough time on Friday night after breathalyzers or alcohol landed in the area. At least 9 motorists were arrested for drunk driving. It was the first time for such an operation to be conducted in the area. It was also a hectic time for the National Transport and Safety Authority as they struggled to show users how the breathalyzers work. The operation, which was conducted along Kisumu-Kakamega Highway, did not spare anyone. Those who passed the alcohol test thronged social sites to warn friends to avoid particular routes. NTSA's Cosmas Ngeso says that since the alcohol was introduced, accidents have reduced by 20% in the country. Police officers in Mulolongo and Athi River towns raided local brewing dens and destroyed over 3,000 liters of illicit brew. In Athi River Slaughter Slum, the area chief and his assistants stormed a brewing den and poured over 2,000 liters of busa and changa. At Mulolongo town, the area assistant county commissioner Robert Okumu led administration police officers to an illegal brewing den. They arrested the brewer and 5 middle-aged consumers. Also netted were materials materials used to brew the liquor. Okumu urged the public to help curb consumption of illicit brew in order to stop liquor-related deaths. The crackdown comes barely days after 3 people died in Machakos after consuming illicit brew.
Tumeweza kupata hii boma ambayo ilikuwa inatumika kwa kutengeneza pombe haramu, na tumeweza kupata zaidi ya lita 1,000 ya busa, na pia tumeweza kupata zile vifaa ambayo zinatumiwa kutengeneza hii pombe. Tumeweza kumkamata mtu mmoja ambaye atapelekwa ashtakiwe.
Residents of Balozi Estate in South B today woke up to face a face-off with officials from the National Environmental Management Authority and a host of bulldozers. The residents, most of whom were preparing to go to work, found a demolition squad ready to take down their houses, which according to NEMA are built too close to the Ngong River. NEMA Chief Enforcement Officer Robert Orina said they were clearing illegal structures that have been degrading the river. Orina blamed the residents for not obeying the notice issued to them by the city county authorities a month ago and another one issued by NEMA yesterday to vacate the area. The residents say they are worried about the possible rise of insecurity in the area from the evicted youth.
Tunashindwa sana wakati mnasema tunataka kumaliza security. Hawa vijana wote wanafanya hapa ni wengi sana. Hawa ni vijana karibu 200 wametolewa hapa, wataenda wapi? Hawa wakubwa wanatutoa hapa. Hawa wakubwa ndio hawa vijana watarudi kugoja kwa barabara, wataangusha, wanasema hatuna security.
Illegal structures along this river. This is Ngong River, and this is the river that feeds its water into the main Nairobi River, then to Athi River. As you can see that these are some of the illegal structures which have been put around the riparian area.
Residents of Donholm area of Nairobi are struggling to retrieve the body of a girl who fell into a ditch filled with sewage waste. Yesterday, the girl is said to have been walking along the ditch while speaking on her phone when she fell. The residents are blaming the Nairobi City County for not covering up the ditch, which has been lying open for a long time. They also suspect that there could be more bodies in the ditch as it has stayed open for more than 2 months now.
Alikuwa anapisha gari kwa cross hapo. Sasa baada ya kupisha akateleza kwa mtaro hapo akaanguka. Mwendo wa saa 1.
Hizi mashimo vile zinachonga hivi ni vibaya. Hata mtu anaweza toka huko akimbia hapa anguke hapa. Unaona? Hata huko kwetu huko kwa kijiji huko Soweto. Kila mahali wanachimba wanaacha hivi na ni vibaya, unaona? Hata mtu akianguka hapa huwezi jua. Labda kwa hapa 5 huwezi jua. There are even 5 here. So hiyo maji kisha utaona wako hapo ndani. Kwa hivyo wakimaliza wa fence hiyo shimo, si ati wanaacha wazi hivyo, wana to help, lakini this is not help, this is risk.
Moving on, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor Jacob Kaimenyi has warned higher learning institutions of nepotism and tribalism when recruiting their staff. Speaking during a graduation ceremony at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology, he said the government will take action against institutions which do not comply with the constitutional requirement of gender balance in their staffing. He says that all universities must reflect national outlook in all aspects of their operations.
We are back well as they join other Kenyans in nation building.
Let us be more sensitive. Have a rigorous promotion and appointment criteria. Somebody should not be promoted because you have some political support. No way. And it should not be promoted because you are a friend of a principal of a constituent college. Neither because you are a friend of the Vice Chancellor or belong to the same tribe.
Victor Odhiambo of Kenya Defence Forces will square it out with Joseph Shingali of the Kenya Police in the final of the light welterweight category at the Kenya Boxing League Mombasa leg. Chafua's Peter Mungai, on the other hand, has no opponent after flooring Stephen Dungu of Central in the light fly category. He was declared the winner without throwing a punch. In the lightweight category, Frederick Ochieng of Coast will fight it out with Olympian Nico Koth of Kenya Defence Forces in the flyweight class. Maurice Ochieng of Kenya Police will battle it out with Kevin Murigi of Central. Well, thank you very much for watching KTN Weekend at 1. We have so much lined up for you in our subsequent bulletins with KTN. My name is Najma Ismail. Up next, we will join Joy Doreen Bira with Africa Speaks.